Most people think you can tell if a man loves you by what he says, but the truth is, his actions behind closed doors reveal far more than his words ever could. In this video, we're diving into the 5 powerful things men only do during lovemaking when their love is real. And once you understand them, you'll never see intimacy the same way again. When a man genuinely loves a woman, his entire presence during lovemaking shifts into something far deeper than physical attraction or the act itself. It becomes a moment where he's fully emotionally engaged, not just physically involved. His mind isn't wandering. He's not performing or trying to impress. He's not thinking about himself, about checking a box, or about how he looks in the moment. Instead, he's fully tuned in. He is there in the moment with her. And that presence, real, grounded, emotional presence, is a clear sign that what he feels is more than desire. It's love. Many people confuse physical chemistry for love. They think just because someone is passionate in bed, it means they care deeply. But that's not always the case. Physical passion can exist without any emotional investment. What separates a man who truly loves from one who is just physically interested is how deeply he is emotionally present in the moment. When a man loves, he's not just touching your body, he's connecting with you as a person. His touch is intentional, his pace is thoughtful, and his energy is focused entirely on the experience you're both creating, not just the outcome. A man who is emotionally present doesn't rush through intimacy. He doesn't treat it like something to finish quickly or get over with. He's not distracted or looking for shortcuts. Instead, he's engaged in the subtle things. Your breath, your facial expressions, your emotions. He wants to know how you feel. He wants to know that you're comfortable, that you're connected, that you're enjoying this moment as much as he is. And he'll pick up on cues, small ones that most people overlook, because he's really there with you, heart first. Presence is also about slowing down. It's not just about the physical rhythm, but emotional rhythm. When love is involved, he's not rushing to the finish line. He's savoring each moment. He's holding space for you, allowing you to feel safe enough to be fully yourself. There's an unspoken emotional synchronization that happens where both people feel aligned, even without words. He's not acting out some script or fantasy. He's creating something real, something unique to the two of you. That's what emotional presence brings. It turns a physical act into an emotional experience. You'll also notice that when a man is genuinely in love, he's not afraid of silence. He doesn't fill space with noise or talk just to talk. He's comfortable with the pauses, the stillness, the quiet moments that happen in between. That comfort with silence comes from a place of trust and emotional safety. He's not trying to entertain or prove anything. He's just with you. And that presence, that quiet attentiveness, makes the experience feel more connected, more honest. Another part of emotional presence is attentiveness to emotional cues. If something feels off to you, he'll sense it. If you're holding back, he'll ask, gently, respectfully, and not because he's trying to get something, but because he wants to be in sync with you. He's emotionally attuned to you because you matter to him. Your experience, your emotions, your comfort, they all matter. And that awareness shows itself most clearly in moments of physical closeness. It's easy to be emotionally distant while being physically close. But when he's both emotionally and physically close, it reveals something deeper. This kind of presence can't be faked. It's not something a man can turn on and off like a light switch. It's who he is when he cares. It shows in how he looks at you, how he listens to you, how he touches you, and how he responds to you during intimacy. It's the kind of presence that makes you feel like you're the only person in the world at that moment. Not because of what you're doing, but because of how deeply you're being seen, heard, and felt. Real presence during lovemaking isn't about perfection or technique. It's about authenticity. A man in love brings his whole self into the moment. His heart, his mind, and his body. He's not hiding behind a mask or playing a role. He's vulnerable, open, and real. That's what makes the experience feel safe, intimate, and unforgettable. And that's something that only happens when love is genuine. When a man truly loves a woman, something shifts in how he approaches intimacy. His focus turns from himself to her. He's no longer just thinking about what he wants, what he likes, or what feels good to him. Instead, his mind and heart are tuned into her experience. Her comfort becomes his priority. Her emotional safety matters just as much, if not more, than physical satisfaction. He becomes attentive not out of obligation, but out of a deep desire to make her feel seen, valued, and cared for in every moment they share together. This is where real intimacy begins. When a man genuinely loves a woman, he doesn't just go through the motions or stick to a routine. He listens, not just with his ears, but with his entire presence. He's alert to her reactions, her body language, her breath, her voice, and even the unspoken signals that might hint at discomfort, uncertainty, or joy. He notices when she pulls away slightly, and instead of pushing forward, he pauses. He senses when she relaxes, and he moves forward gently. That kind of awareness doesn't come from experience or practice alone. It comes from truly caring about her well-being. In genuine love, there is a natural sense of patience. He doesn't rush her. He doesn't treat intimacy as something transactional or goal-oriented. Instead, he's focused on the journey. He's patient with her rhythm, responsive to her pace, and entirely uninterested in pressure. That patience is a form of respect, an acknowledgement that her body and her emotions deserve to be treated with tenderness and honor. Even if she doesn't say it out loud, he can sense what she needs and he offers it without hesitation. That's not manipulation. That's care. That's love. What also becomes clear is that his desire is not just for her body, it's for her happiness. He wants to know she's enjoying herself, not just pretending to. He doesn't need to be reassured or praised. He's not looking for validation. He's genuinely invested in her experience because it brings him joy to see her fulfilled. When he asks what she likes or pays close attention to what she responds to, it's not about performance, it's about learning her language, emotionally and physically, so he can speak it fluently. Not just during intimacy, but in every way he loves her. Comfort, in this context, also includes emotional safety. A man who loves deeply creates a space where she feels safe to be herself, where she doesn't feel the need to perform, hide, or pretend. She knows she won't be judged for how she looks, sounds, or moves. She knows she can say no, ask for something different, or express her needs without fear of rejection. He reassures her through his actions and his presence that her comfort is not a burden, but a priority. That freedom to be real, to be vulnerable, is one of the most powerful forms of intimacy. Another sign of prioritizing her experience is adaptability. Love makes a man flexible. He's not rigid about how things should go. He's not stuck in expectations or routines. If something isn't working or doesn't feel right to her, he adjusts without ego. He's willing to learn, grow, and shift because he values her emotional truth over any preconceived plan. That flexibility doesn't mean he's unsure of himself. It means he's secure enough to put her needs at the center. trusting that when she feels safe and loved, the connection will be deeper and more fulfilling for both of them. It's also in the aftercare, the moments that come after physical intimacy, that this care becomes even more evident. A man who truly prioritizes a woman's comfort doesn't just disappear once it's over. He stays, holds her, talks to her, checks in. He might ask how she felt, or simply stay close, offering warmth and reassurance through his presence. That continued attentiveness shows that his love wasn't limited to the moment. It extends beyond it. It's not just about being present during intimacy. It's about remaining emotionally connected, showing that she matters before, during, and after. This level of care isn't something that can be forced or faked. It flows naturally when love is real. A man in love doesn't think of her experience as secondary. He sees it as equal to, if not more important than his own. He takes joy in her joy. He finds satisfaction in knowing she feels safe, loved, and honored. This isn't about being perfect, and it's not about putting her on a pedestal. It's about valuing her experience enough to pay attention, to slow down, and to make love, not just with his body, but with his heart fully engaged. When a man is genuinely in love, he begins to let down his emotional guard during intimate moments. He doesn't just bring his body into the experience, he brings his whole self. That includes his emotions, his fears, his dreams, and his heart. Vulnerability becomes a part of the connection, not something he hides from. Most men are taught from a young age to stay strong, stay silent, and never show too much feeling. But when love is real, those walls start to fall. He allows himself to be seen, not just physically but emotionally, and that changes everything. There's something very different about a man who feels safe enough to be open. He's not trying to be the tough guy or the one who always has it together. Instead, during intimacy, you'll notice that his emotions are close to the surface. He may look into your eyes longer or hold you tighter, not just because of physical attraction, but because the connection stirs something deeper in him. He may even whisper things that he hasn't said out loud before, like how much you mean to him or how lucky he feels to be with you. These aren't just sweet nothings. They come from a real place. A place of emotional honesty that only opens up when love is present. That kind of openness is rare because it requires trust. For many men, vulnerability is associated with weakness. But when a man is in love, he finds strength in letting himself be fully known. He's not afraid to show you when he's uncertain or when he's feeling something deeply. He might reveal something personal or share an insecurity, and it's not to gain sympathy. It's because he wants you to know the real him. He wants you to understand who he is underneath the surface, and he trusts you enough to let you in. That trust is a powerful indicator of love, and you'll see it most clearly when he's willing to be emotionally naked, not just physically undressed. During lovemaking, this vulnerability shows up in his tone, in his touch, in his willingness to be emotionally expressive. He's not just trying to do the right thing. He's communicating through his actions that he cares. He may slow down, talk more softly, or pause just to hold you and breathe with you. It's not about performance or ego. It's about connection. And sometimes this vulnerability can even lead to moments of quiet emotion, tears, laughter, or silence that speaks louder than words. When a man allows himself to feel fully, without shutting it down or hiding it, that's love at work. Emotional expression in these moments isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's subtle, a quiet "I love you," spoken without prompt, a deep exhale as he holds you, or a look in his eyes that says everything words can't. These are the moments when you know he's not just enjoying your body, but cherishing your soul. He's not playing a part. He's not acting. He's just being. And in being, he's showing you a side of himself that few people ever get to see. That's what makes it so powerful. That's what makes it so rare. This openness also creates space for you to be vulnerable too. When a man leads with emotional honesty, it invites the same in return. It's not a transaction, it's an emotional exchange. You feel safer being yourself because he's showing you it's okay to do so. There's no mask, no performance, no trying to impress. Just two people fully present with each other, sharing something raw and real. That mutual vulnerability becomes the foundation for a deeper love, one that isn't built just on physical chemistry, but on emotional truth. This kind of emotional availability doesn't just show up during the most tender moments. It lingers in how he treats you afterward. He might ask how you're feeling, not just physically, but emotionally. He might open up more about his own day, his thoughts, or his worries. You notice he doesn't shut down or go cold. He stays warm, connected, and real. That emotional follow-through proves that his vulnerability wasn't temporary. It wasn't just in the moment. It's part of how he loves. He's not afraid to feel, to express, and to let you into the most unguarded parts of himself. That's the kind of emotional courage that only surfaces when love is genuine. When a man is truly in love, intimacy doesn't end when the physical act is over. In fact, some of the most telling signs of genuine love appear in the moments that follow. When the heat dies down and the room is quiet, his actions speak volumes. A man who is emotionally invested doesn't just turn away or detach. He stays present. He holds you. He lingers in the quiet. He makes it known through small, simple gestures that you are not just a moment of pleasure, but someone he cherishes far beyond the act itself. This is where affection beyond the physical becomes real. For many people, the difference between being used and being loved is what happens after intimacy. A man who's only in it for himself will often disconnect. He may go cold, shift focus, or create distance. But when a man is in love, his affection doesn't stop when the climax is over. If anything, it intensifies. He wants to stay close. He wants to hold you in his arms, look you in the eyes, and enjoy the feeling of simply being with you. That closeness becomes more important than the act itself. Physical affection after intimacy, like cuddling, touching your hair, or gently stroking your back, isn't about habit or politeness. It's a language of love. He's communicating that you matter, not just for what you give him physically, but for who you are. He's not trying to move on to something else. He's not reaching for distractions. His attention is still with you. And when a man does this naturally, without needing to be asked, it's a clear sign that his connection to you runs deeper than just desire. And he may also express his love through words in these moments, soft, sincere things that come from a place of emotional safety. When the barriers are down and both of you are relaxed, a man who loves you might take that opportunity to say something meaningful. It might be a reminder of how much you mean to him, a reflection on how good he feels around you, or a thank you for being so close. These words are not rehearsed. They're not part of a routine. They're spontaneous, genuine, and deeply personal. That's what makes them matter so much. Sometimes the affection takes the form of small, thoughtful actions. He may get you water, tuck you in, help you get comfortable, or simply check in to ask how you're feeling. These might seem like little things, but they reflect a mindset of care. He's not thinking only about himself. He's tuned into your needs, even the unspoken ones. And he doesn't do these things to be praised. He does them because your well-being is important to him, because you matter. When the lights are on that off, and especially when the world has faded into just the two of you. You'll also notice that a man in love doesn't withdraw emotionally after intimacy. He doesn't shut down or become distant. Instead, he remains emotionally available. He may want to talk, laugh, or simply lie quietly next to you. He welcomes the connection that comes afterward rather than avoiding it. For him, this part is just as intimate as anything that came before. It's a continuation of the bond, a chance to breathe in the closeness and let it deepen. That kind of emotional follow-through is rare, and it speaks to a kind of love that's rooted in real emotional security. A man who truly cares doesn't need to be reminded to stay connected. He doesn't look at affection as an obligation. He does it naturally, because being close to you brings him peace. It makes him feel whole. That's the emotional payoff of real love. It's not just the physical pleasure, but the emotional warmth that stays afterward. It's the comfort of knowing that intimacy didn't change anything for the worse. It made the connection stronger. That emotional warmth carries into the way he talks to you, how he holds you, how he looks at you. It creates a sense of security, of being wanted, not just for your body, but for your soul. All of this matters because it shows consistency between what he says and what he does. Anyone can say, "I love you," but only someone who truly means it will show that love in the quiet, in-between moments, when there's no script, no pressure, and no performance. The affection he offers when everything else fades proves how real his feelings are. It's in these moments, after the intensity has settled, that you truly see the heart of a man who loves deeply. When a man is deeply in love, one of the most powerful things he does during intimacy is seek emotional connection through eye contact. This isn't the casual glance or fleeting look that happens out of habit or politeness. It's a deeper, longer, more intentional gaze that says, "I see you." Eye contact in moments of physical closeness becomes a silent form of emotional communication. It's not just about watching or admiring, it's about connecting. Through his eyes, he's reaching into something more meaningful than touch. He's inviting you into the deepest part of his emotional world, and he wants to be let into yours too. This kind of eye contact is often unguarded, it's soft, vulnerable, and open. There's no fear in it, no need to look away or mask emotion. In fact, the longer he holds your gaze, the more you feel that he's fully present with you, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally too. It's a connection that feels safe, sincere, and grounding. It's not something he forces or calculates. It happens naturally because he feels emotionally safe with you, and he wants to share that safety with you in return. That mutual gaze becomes a way of building trust without a single word being spoken. What's striking about this kind of eye contact is how much it slows everything down. It creates a pause in the moment, a stillness where both people are fully tuned into one another. There's no rush, no pressure, no trying to move quickly through the experience. Instead, it feels like time stops for a moment. He looks at you like you're the only person that exists in his world right then and there. That gaze says more than any compliment ever could. It tells you that you matter, that you're valued, and that he's not just with you, he's connected to you. Sometimes you'll notice a kind of softness in his expression that only appears during these moments. His face relaxes, his eyes look kinder. It's as if the intensity of the outside world fades away, and all that's left is this shared emotional space between the two of you. This isn't the gaze of lust or conquest. It's the gaze of love. It's the look a man gives when he feels at home, when he feels like he's exactly where he's supposed to be, when he wants nothing more than to stay in that moment with you. It's also important to understand that this level of eye contact takes emotional courage. Many people struggle to hold eye contact for more than a few seconds because it makes them feel exposed. But a man who's in love doesn't look away to protect himself. He keeps his eyes on you because he wants you to see what he feels. He's not afraid of being seen in that raw, intimate way. On the contrary, he wants to be known. He wants you to look into his eyes and see that everything he feels is real, that he's not pretending, that there's no mask. In moments where words fall short, where feelings run too deep to be put into language, his eyes do the talking. They tell you things like, I care about you, I'm here with you, and you're safe with me. And they do it without needing to spell anything out. The intimacy created by that eye contact becomes one of the most powerful forms of emotional bonding between two people. It builds a sense of unity, like both of you are experiencing something sacred together. It creates a bridge between your emotions and his, forming a kind of non-verbal understanding that few things can match. Even in the most passionate moments, when everything else is moving fast and intense, his eyes might slow it all down. He might stop for a second, look at you, and just be still. That pause, that look becomes an anchor. It reminds you both that this is more than a physical exchange. It's emotional. It's personal. And in that moment, you feel it. You feel loved, chosen, and seen in a way that stays with you long after. Because real love doesn't just speak through words or action. Sometimes it speaks through the eyes. And when it does, you know exactly what it means. When a man truly loves a woman, it changes everything about the way he approaches intimacy. It's no longer just a physical act. It becomes a deeply emotional experience rooted in respect, care, and connection. From prioritizing her comfort and tuning into her needs, to allowing himself to be vulnerable, showing affection beyond the act itself, and maintaining deep eye contact that communicates more than words ever could, these are not just habits or techniques, they are signs of genuine love. When love is real, a man shows up fully, with his body, his mind, and his heart. And in those moments, love-making becomes more than intimacy. It becomes an expression of his soul.